There's so many lessons to pull out of this pandemic quarantine that we're in right now. Many of us are, for the first time ever, feeling what it's like to be in our own skin, processing all these emotions without all the normal day-to-day distractions. On a normal day, many of us are waking up, getting ready for work, being a parent, going to the grocery store, running errands, doing our daily activities and hobbies. Rarely are we ever in our own skin, seeing what that feels like. And at this time, all of our distractions are being taken away and really forced into a time where we're seeing what it's like to try on who we are. I got a good lesson on this at the beginning of the year. New Year's, I was in Cabo with my beautiful girlfriend and our 2 kids, and we were doing the countdown. I was watching fireworks over the ocean, and I was thinking to myself, as were many people, that 2020 is going to be one of the best years of my life. I remember thinking that, and due to some poor choices I was making and this big ego I have, if you fast forward 4 days after New Year's, I was now living on my friend's couch. I had lost everything I had. I had lost my house, my car, my girlfriend, my job, even the puppy I had. Because of my new living conditions, I couldn't be a father anymore. Everything that made me me was taken away, and I was forced to see what it feels like inside Tanner. And this was really hard for me. I wanted to immediately numb it using alcohol or staying busy, but I couldn't escape everything that was going on. Around day 4 of this, I wanted to give up. I was seriously thinking about ending it. I sat down, and I guess one thing positive that I did is I started to investigate. I started asking questions to myself. I started saying things like, what is causing me to be so unhappy? Why am I finding myself in these positions? Question after question, I finally came to, what do I want out of life? And as I thought about it, it came to me that I want to be happy. I want to live a life where I'm happy. That's it. So I thought to myself, what would a happy life look like to me? And that stumped me. I thought that was really interesting, that more than anything, I just want to be happy, but I could not tell you exactly what that looks like. I try to break it down, like, what would a happy, perfect day look like? And it stumped me again. I didn't know. I've never thought about these things. Right then, a quote came to me that I've heard in the past, but I've never attached it to anything. And the quote is, how do you hit the bullseye if you don't know where the target is? How do you hit the bullseye if you don't know what the target is? All these years I wanted nothing but happiness, but I never knew what happiness was to me. I went out and I started to ask some people, just friends or people pass by. I'd get in conversation and I'd be like, hey, if you were completely happy, what would your day look like? Same thing. A lot of people were stumped, and I've never thought about that before. And it was so interesting to me that having a happy life is so important, but many of us have never even thought about what that would look like. Many of us had never made a target for us to hit the bullseye. Well, I was at rock bottom in my position, so I had no energy or willpower, but I thought I might as well give it a try. I want to really get to know myself. I want to find out what makes Tanner happy. What would a perfect life look like to me? So I sat there, I got a notebook, and I started to write some things down. And the obvious answers came out at first. A perfect life, a happy life. I would have a lot of money, a nice car, a beautiful girlfriend, a nice house, as much free time as I want, a job that I was passionate about, all those kind of answers. But that wasn't satisfying to me. I was really going to do the work this time and put all the effort into it to find out, I wanted to create the target so I could hit the bullseye. So I went down each one. Money. Would that be a part of my perfect happy life? And I thought about it. And there's been times in my life where I've had a good amount of money. And I thought, did that bring me happiness? And you know what? I can't say that it did. A lot of the times when I had money, it would cause a lot of anxiety and worry. I made every mistake in the book. I made bad purchases. I wasted money. I let friends borrow money. I tried to show off and buy things, and and so money, just money, and having a lot of it never made me happy. So I thought, money's something that's a part of my happy life, but how does it apply to me? And so I started writing in my notebook, and I came to start thinking of money as, in the terms of happiness, is not having a lot of it. It's being financially savvy, being good with my money, being confident that what I'm spending money on, I'm going to get a return for in the future. Staying away from ever having to worry about where am I going to get the next round of money, living paycheck to paycheck. Money and happiness would equal financial security, making good choices, learning to invest, learning to get a return from my money. That's how money could bring me happiness. So, and then I went on to the next one, having a big house. Would that bring me happiness? And I thought about that. I've lived in a big house before. Did that bring me happiness? No. A lot of worry too. If anything broke, that's a lot of money. Keeping the yard clean, I have to spend a lot of time doing that. My son around the house making messes, it caused me a lot of unhappiness. So how would having a nice house look like in my perfect happy life? And as I investigated more, I want a nice peaceful environment with a lot of creative outlets around, a comfortable place. And I wrote page and page and page about how having a nice house would make me happy. I was starting to know myself so well. I went on to the next one. Would having a beautiful girlfriend make me happy? Thought about that one too, and I can't say that it would. I've had a pretty girlfriend before, which also caused me a lot of sadness. Jealousy, worrying about if they're gonna leave you, finding someone better. That didn't bring me happiness. Happiness in a relationship to me, as I researched, would look like connection. That's the best feeling, trust, good communication, similar interests. I was starting to write page after page, and I was really starting to know myself. I went through everything. I thought, what types of people would I be hanging around with in my perfect happy life? What types of thoughts would the perfectly happy me be thinking? And I kept investigating, and I kept learning myself and searching the inside, and I was creating this huge target which I could now hit the bullseye. And when I was done, I had pages and pages of what truly would make me happy. I created a huge target for me to hit the bullseye. And I knew these were the things that would truly make me happy, because as I looked through them, I could feel it on the inside. I was smiling. Instantly, I got so much energy. I had something to look forward to. I had all these darts, and I was ready to go after the target and hit the bullseye. I challenge a lot of you out there to do the same thing. As you're pushed in this quarantine to go inside, ask yourself what truly makes you happy. Define it. Get to know yourself. There's a lot of lessons to be learned at this time, and there's a lot of growth to be made. They say the best leaders lead by example. So if you want the people around you, your kids, your family, to be happy, the best way to do it is to become happy yourself. Anything you want in the world, you need to become that. That's how you lead with example. So why don't we use this time to better ourselves, to start understanding your own self in the relationship, every thought, idea, and decision you're making. Are you going towards a target, or are they going scattered all over the place? What better time than right now?